Good morning, students. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Today we'll be going with an interesting topic. We'll start within another 2 to 3 minutes. Very slow. I don't know. Already OS class was ended, right? But many. Okay. So whatever the things that are there, left out things are there, and those things will be going with the revision sessions. Mostly in second unit, we covered everything. Second and third unit, we covered everything. Only second unit enumeration is there, I think, right? And third unit, nothing is there, and fourth unit, comparator is there. So overview we are given, but I will discuss the program of comparator, simple programs of comparator I will discuss. Okay, fine. So now it's a time for us to focus on unit 5, which is very, very important, and everyone has to know it. Everyone has to know it. Okay. So this unit 5 completely deals with a different environment, a different thing. It's not going to be what we are discussed till now. ఇప్పటి వరకు మనం ఏదైతే డిస్కస్ చేసామో దాని కంప్లీట్ డిఫరెంట్గా ఉంటుంది అండ్ మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద స్టూడెంట్స్ 80% ఆఫ్ ద స్టూడెంట్స్ విల్ ఫీల్ ఇట్స్ గోయింగ్ టు బి వన్ ఆఫ్ ద what a best topic, interesting topic. Like that the students will feel. The reason is that till now we have seen the programs where we'll be executing those programs on the command prompt, and we'll be giving certain input and we'll be getting certain output on the command prompt itself. But in unit 5 we'll not be doing such kind of things. We'll be going with something different, like we'll be creating some frame, we'll be creating some graphical user interface where we can place some buttons. If you click on that particular button, something can be done. If you click on other button, something is going to be done. So how it is going to be done and in what way we'll be doing, all these things we'll be discussing over here. So if you observe the flow of the unit, Java is going to be somewhat different. Like in unit 1, what we focused basics of Java, and then we focused on what object-oriented programming concepts, and implementation, object-oriented programming concepts, implementation in Java. So we are seen mainly class encapsulation we are seen, and we are seen what inheritance, we are seen polymorphism topics, we are seen and then we seen abstract classes, which is nothing but data abstraction topic we are seen. And unit 2 mainly focused on some other topics of Java, like packages. It was focused, and it focused about data abstraction in the sense what interfaces, what we discussed about interfaces and abstract classes, and we focused on packages. After focusing on packages, we went into java.io package, that is streams. That means we learned about files concept, how to insert the data into the file, and all we discussed. And then unit 3 is completely different approach. You never expected that this kind of things will be there in Java, like that exception handling and multi threading, right? So up to this 3 units, I'm very sure that you're very comfortable with, very comfortable with what unit 1, and you're comfortable with unit 2 except IO, and you are comfortable with unit 3, right? And in unit 4 also few things you are very much comfortable, like what creating an object, adding the elements and retrieving it by using for each loop, or by using what iterator. In all the classes it will be like that only, all the classes it will be like that only. Might be you face some issue with utility classes, and then one comparator you may not understand about that comparator, and then what some utility classes like bit set, some unimportant things are there, and those things you may not understand, but maximum, right? What there won't be any problem, at least 80% of unit 4, I think you got it right. I need a quick response about unit 1, 2, 3, what I said, that you have some clarity on unit 1. Unit 2 there is a problem with what package IO, and unit 3 there won't be any problem at all, and unit 4 except what few utility classes, that to 1 or 2 utility classes and comparator, remaining everything what you got some clarity, right or no? Yes or no? If you have any problem among these 4 units, and it's a time for you to express those problems, and I will be noting down those things, and I will try to focus those areas when we are going with the revision. I need a quick response from you all. Whatever the problem, whatever the topic, put in front of me, right? That is required for me, right? I need a response.
ఫైల్స్ ఒకటే ప్రాబ్లమ్ సార్.
Okay, Srikar said only files. Next.
ఒకసారి రివిజన్ టైంలో రీడింగ్ మెథడ్స్ అవి స్కానర్స్ సిస్టమ్ బఫర్స్ అవి ఉన్నాయి కదా,
అర్థం కాలేదు నాన్న, మళ్ళీ చెప్పండి.
లైక్ ఇన్పుట్ ని తీసుకోవడానికి మెథడ్స్ వాడండి, అవన్నీ కూడా ఒకసారి చెప్పండి.
ఓకే ఓకే, అవి మనకి ఇక్కడ అందులోనే ఫైల్స్ లోనే వస్తాయి, అవి కూడా స్కానర్ ఒకటి రాదు, అందులోనే వస్తాయి. నీకు ఇన్పుట్ కీబోర్డ్ నుంచి డేటా తీసుకోవడానికి ఏ క్లాసెస్ వాడతారు అన్నది కావాలి, అదే కదా? అది ఫైల్స్ లోనే కవర్ అవుతుంది. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ 2 students had expressed their problems. I need a quick response, students. If you are not expressing, then I can conclude that. If you are expressing, I can conclude that those students are listening. If you are not expressing, then I can conclude that you are not listening. That's it. What about others?
Sir, files, remaining everything is okay, sir.
Okay, remaining everything is okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Other students, I need a quick response. Don't wait that I will be calling with some numbers and all. Respond. Voluntarily, you have to give response. 504?
Same, sir.
505?
సార్ ఫైల్స్ టాపిక్ సార్ ఒకసారి ర్యాండమ్ ఫైల్స్ ఉన్నాయి సార్, అది
Okay.
మళ్ళీ ఇంకా Unit-4లో లాస్ట్ టాపిక్ చెప్పింది చెప్పండి. స్కానర్
చెప్పండి, ఏవి Unit-4 లో ఏంటి చెప్పండి.
అంటే సార్ 1 minute సార్.
507? 508, 507?
Sir, 508, sir. Only files concept, sir.
Okay, fine. పృథ్వీ, మీరు ప్రీవియస్ క్లాసెస్ విన్నారా?
అసలు 4th యూనిట్ లో ఇన్లేదు సార్. 4th యూనిట్
యూట్యూబ్ లో ఉన్నాయి వీడియోస్, ఒకసారి వినండి.
వింటాను సార్.
ఈ ఫస్ట్ 3 units లో మీకు ఏమైనా ప్రాబ్లమ్?
లేదు సార్, నేను మల్టీ థ్రెడ్డింగ్ వరకు విన్నాను సార్.
ఓకేనా? భరత్
సార్ అరేస్ ఇంకా లింక్ లిస్ట్ చెప్పండి సార్.
అరేస్ అండ్ లింక్ లిస్టా?
ఎస్ సార్.
ఓకే. నెక్స్ట్ సాయి సృజన.
Sir, packages concept, sir.
మరి మీరు అన్మ్యూట్ చేసి చెప్పాలి కదా, డిఫరెంట్ టాపిక్ ఉన్నప్పుడు సైలెంట్ గా ఉంటే ఎట్లా తెలుస్తుంది నాకు? 14, 16, 17 ఓన్లీ ఫైల్స్. 14.
Yes, sir.
16, 17. 16. I'm not able to hear. చెప్పినాను చెప్పినాను ఏమైందిరా సార్ అంటూ ఈ టాపిక్ ఏంటి? వీఆర్ నాట్ ఏబుల్ టు హియర్ యూ అభినందన్.
sir.
నౌ ఐ am able to hear.
Signal problem, sir.
ఓకే ఫైన్. టాపిక్స్ మీకు అర్థం కానివి ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయా?
అవును సార్.
చెప్పు ఏమున్నాయి? ఏ టాపిక్స్ కావాలి రివిజన్? కంప్లీట్ జావా టాపిక్స్ అన్ని రివిజన్ కావాలి. అభినందన్
సార్ సిగ్నల్ ప్రాబ్లం వస్తుంది సార్. నీకు వినబడతలేదు సార్ వాయిస్.
సరే నాకు చెప్పు తర్వాత అయినా కానీ నీకు ఏ టాపిక్స్ కావాలో. 17, 18, 19, 20. 17,
Files
18, 19.
topic, sir.
Who is that? 17?
Yes, sir.
Apart from that, everything is okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. 18, Badri.
Sir, files and packages, sir.
Okay, already it is there, no problem, right? 17, 18, 19, 20, past.
Sir, Unit-4 revision, sir.
Who is that?
20.
ఓకే, వినలేదా? ఏం వినలేదా అసలు Unit-4?
అంటే అర్థం కాలేదు సార్ కొంచెం.
ఓకే ఫైన్, నో ప్రాబ్లం. నెక్స్ట్ 19.
సార్ థ్రెడ్స్ టాపిక్ మళ్ళీ చెప్పండి సార్. సింక్రోనైజేషన్ మల్టీ థ్రెడింగ్ జస్ట్ రివిజన్ చేయండి సార్.
ఓకే ఓకే మా ఓకే. ఐ థింక్ ఓకే ఫైన్, విల్ లుక్ ఇంటూ ఇట్, నో ప్రాబ్లం. రిమైనింగ్ మీకు ప్రాబ్లం లేవా? అంటే ఇవన్నీ ఓకేనా? ఫైల్స్ అరేస్ 519 అవి ఎలాగో చెప్తారనేది చెప్తారా?
అంటే అక్కడ ఉన్నాయని సార్.
ఓకే ఓకే ఫైన్ ఫైన్, నో ప్రాబ్లమ్. 21, 22, 23, 25 రెస్పాండ్ ఫాస్ట్. ఐ కాంట్ ఆస్క్ ఇండివిజువల్.
Files.
ఓకే
Sir,
22.
synchronization, sir.
ఓకే, ఇంకా చెప్పండి అమ్మా. నెక్స్ట్ నంబర్స్ 26 to 30. 26. ఓకే 26. ఓకే 26 to 30. 28 సూర్య.
సార్
మ్మ్.
నాకు కొంచెం నేను ఒకసారి వర్క్ చేసుకున్నాక మీకు అడుగుతా సార్.
ఓకే ఫైన్. 31 to 35. మేక్ ఇట్ ఫాస్ట్.
So files concept.
ఓకే 31 to 35.
సార్ ఫైల్స్ ఇంకా Unit-4 లో అరేస్ అండ్ లింక్.
ఫైల్స్ కాన్సెప్ట్.
అమ్మా చెప్పండి. ఫైల్స్ ఇంకా Unit-4 లో అరేసా?
అది ఎస్ సార్.
ఓకే ఓకే ఫైన్. 36 to 40.
Sir, files and synchronizations.
ఓకే అమ్మా 36 to 40. 38 ఇప్పుడు రెస్పాండ్ అయింది.
Yes, sir.
ఓకే ఓకే థ్రెడ్ కమ్యూనికేషన్. ఉదయ్ యూ సెడ్. ఓకే ఓకే ఫైన్. ఓకే ఫైన్. 41 to 45. 41 to 45.
సార్ అది సింక్రోనైజేషన్ ది ఇంకా Unit-4 లో అరేస్ అండ్ లింక్ లిస్ట్ ఒకసారి చెప్పండి సార్.
ఓకే అమ్మా ఆల్రెడీ అక్కడ ఉంది, ఫైన్ నో ప్రాబ్లం. నెక్స్ట్ 41 to 45 రెస్పాండ్ ఫాస్ట్, టైం అయిపోతుంది మనకి.
Sir, files and packages.
ఓకే 41. Danish, have you given response? 41. 45 to 50. 45 to 46 to 50. 51.
సార్
Hmm.
అది ప్రియారిటీ క్యూ థ్రెడ్ కమ్యూనికేషన్ వస్తుంది మళ్ళీ రివైజ్
ఓకే Unit-4 రివిజన్ అని మొత్తం రాస్తాము, అందులో వచ్చేస్తుంది. ఓకే నెక్స్ట్ 55 to 60. 55 to 60. Mansvi. 560 Mansvi.
Files and packages, sir.
Okay Lalita.
Sir, files revision, sir.
Okay, 59. Okay. What about lateral entry students? Lateral entry.
Files, sir.
Okay. Tatvika, Kapil, Anil, 502.
Already covered.
Files concept, sir.
Okay. Okay, ma'am.
Packages కూడా సార్.
Okay, fine. Right. So here most of the students ask about the files. So it's a huge demand is there for files. So I will discuss about that because some confusion is there. And however, this linked list, there is a problem that will be covered in Unit 4. So Unit 2, most of the students facing problem with files, packages, Unit 4 thread synchronization, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 things. Okay. I will make a note of these things and I will definitely do a needful for you all. Okay, fine. So without wasting time, let's go with Unit 5. Okay, Unit 5. So I will plan as per the schedule what they are planning, and according to that schedule, what we will go with these topics, because okay, we'll go with these topics as per the schedule. We'll be going with that. Right now, Unit 5, actually, what does the Unit 5 contains? So Unit 5 contains division, contains what three things. As per my conclusion, there are three things are there in Unit 5. One is event handling. Other one is applets. And next thing is swings. These are the three what things are available. These are the three things are there. In Unit 5. Unit 5. One is event handling, and other one is applets, other one is swings. So these three are there in three different packages, students. So the first package that we are going to learn here is AWT package, and then what java.awt, and next package is java.applet, and the next package is java x.swings, and which can be called as JFC, Java Foundation classes. These things will be discussing. And you might be asking about the thing, what is there in the what first part, like introduction, limitations, MVC, and all. You might be asking about that, understanding the layout managers. That's very simple. But first of all, if you understood the main purpose of this Unit 5 and AWT, if you got some clarity on that, then we'll be going with the first part, like GI programming with swing will be going. In between, I will be discussing this first part. In between the these three things, I will be discussing about this first part. That means after completion of event handling or after completion of applets, we might be going with GUI programming with respect to what swings will be discussing. Okay, right. This is the thing. Make a note of this. Only three things are there in Unit 5. One is event handling hyphen java.awt. Other one is applets hyphen java.applet. After that, swings and java x dot swings or JFC. You can write Java Foundation classes. Like that, three things are available in Unit 5. Unit 5. Now, what we'll be doing is we'll be going with the event handling first. So what do you mean by event and how to do this event handling and all? And before that, some background thing is that GUI programming introduction is required for you all. That introduction we'll be discussing. After discussing that introduction, we'll be going with something what I call frame and how to create frame and all. And then we'll be going with event delegation model, all those things. Okay, right. So this was the actual thing. Three main topics are there: event handling, applets, and then frames. Event handling can be considered as a frames, and then applets, and then swings. These three topics are there, and these three topics are not going to be like what we discussed in Unit 4, Unit 5, Unit 4, and then Unit 3, Unit 2. It's not going to be like that. It's completely different. You'll be seeing a new kind of thing. You never expect that this thing will be there in Java. Like that, the concept is going to be, right? So let's have a discussion about introduction part. That means this GUI introduction part will be discussing, and we'll be discussing about this components and then containers. Okay, right. So first and foremost thing is that we need to know the difference between GUI and then CGUI. Can anyone say what's the full form of GUI and then CGUI?
Graphical user interface.
And CGUI means
Command interface.
user interface.
Command.
CGUI. C stands for what?
Command.
Command user interface, and G stands for graphical user interface. Any other students? GUI is okay, graphical user interface, but CUI means what? It's not going to be a command, it's going to be a character user interface. See, generally, this complete Unit 5 is going to deal how to create a graphical user interface, and that too, it's not going to be graphical, it's going to be user interface. So, how to create a graphical user interface? Graphical user interface means, suppose I would like to create one application where that application has to open some window, and on that window I need to place some buttons, I need to place some images. If I click on that particular button, some action need to be performed. If I click on image, something has to be performed. Like that, if I click on particular button, image has to be displayed. If I click on register button, some application need to be displayed. Some sort of action that we need to do with respect to what graphical user interface components, with respect to what graphical user interface components. That means you got some clarity that Unit 5 is going to deal with what complete graphical user interface, is going to deal with what complete graphical user interface, where we'll be placing some buttons, where we'll be creating one window like this, where we'll be creating some window like this. In our Java application, we'll be creating some window like this. On that window, we'll be placing some buttons. We'll be placing some buttons. If I click on this button, something need to be performed. If I click on this button, something need to be performed. Such kind of programming that we are going to do in Unit 5. And creating such kind of user interface can be considered as a graphical user interface. Graphical user interface. So till now, the programs what we done in Java, how we are done, we went to command prompt. After that, we use something called as Java C space program name dot Java. After that, we use a command called Java, and then we'll be giving some input to the program, and we are getting some input from the output from the program. This is what happened till now. Now, what we'll be doing is, now I would like to go with somewhat different environment. I'm not interested to go with giving some input in the form of some text or in the form of integer and getting some output from the program. Such kind of things are not required for me. So what I need is, I need an interface. I need to go with some window. If I execute a program here, Java space some program name dot Java, I need to get some window over there. I need to get some window over there. I will be showing you one example, one simple example I will be showing you, so that you might be getting some clarity on this. So I'm executing one program over there, Java C space frame demo.java. If I execute that particular program over here, I used to get one frame. I used to get one window. See, when I executed it, I will be getting one frame over here. See. So on this frame, I can place something here. I can close this frame. If I'm going to close, it's not going to be closed. I can minimize it. When I'm going to click on close button, it's not going to be closed. Now to terminate it, we need to press Ctrl Z over there. So again, I'm executing. So automatically you'll be getting one window like this. On this window, I can place some data. On this window, I can place some data, or else I can place some other buttons or some other buttons. If I click on that particular button, something need to be performed like that. Like that, we'll be developing over there. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So generating such kind of windows and placing some buttons on these windows. And if I click on that particular buttons, or if I clear I can enter some, I can place some text fields, I can enter some data, and then I can click on submit button over there. If I click on submit button, something is going to be performed over there. Such kind of things that we are going to do, in a Unit 5. So I will be showing you one more program over here. So I done something over here. Okay, if I click on this button blue, I used to change the background color blue. If I click on white means the background color is going to be changed. Red means background color is going to be changed. Green means green color is going to get. Blue means blue color. White means white color. Okay, I'm going to close it. Okay, like that, what something we are going to do in such kind of things that we are going to do here. Over here. Is it clear for everyone? I need a quick response from you all.
Yes.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So till now what we have done is character user interface. We are dealt with character user interface. Using character user interface, we can interface with application using some commands or using some textual data. And the standalone application interaction of the program is through console. అంటే మీరు ఏదైతే ఒక అప్లికేషన్ ని కన్సోల్ అంటే ఇదేనన్నా, ఇదే కన్సోల్ అంటే ఇది. ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఒక ప్రోగ్రామ్ ని రన్ చేస్తారు, cd space dot dot and cd space dot dot cd space unit 4. I will be entering into this unit 4 and I'm going to execute something over here. cd space some program I'm going with. Java-cp. I'm going to execute some program. So this kind of thing can be called as what a character user interface, where we'll be getting the data on the console itself. We are getting the data on the console itself. That means this is a standalone application. What is that? Your what array dq demo is going to be one standalone application, and this standalone application will run inside this console, but previously we executed one program, but it is created some frame. It is created what some frame. So it is created what some frame. So that is what GUI application. Even though that was executed from console, it can be considered as what a GUI application. It can be considered as what a GUI application. It can be considered as what a GUI application, graphical user interface application. Here we are not getting any output over here. We'll be getting output on the one frame will be getting as an output. On that frame we are placing some set of buttons. If you click on any one of the button, and a set of action is going to be performed, some sort of action is going to be performed. And this kind of programming or this kind of applications can be called as a graphical user interface. This graphical user interface can be a standalone application or web application. Okay, standalone application or web application. అంటే ఎక్కడైతే ఏదైనా ఒక అప్లికేషన్ లో మీకు బటన్స్ check boxes kind of a interface or some set of components. If that application includes some set of components, and that application can be called as what graphical user interface application. Either it might be standalone application or it might be what a web application. And ఇప్పుడు మీరు VLC media player software use చేస్తున్నారు అనుకోండి, and that VLC media player software is also comes under graphical user interface because it contains some set of components like buttons, pause button, stop button, forward button, reverse button, like many buttons are available over there, and that can be considered as a graphical user interface application. If you consider an application which was there on some devices, when you enter into an RTC buses and the conductor used to give is going to generate a bill, and such type of things can be called as a character user interface applications, where there is giving some number. According to that number, it's generating what the charge, and what a bill is going to be generated, and bill will be handed over to you. That means that can be that in that device, the application what they are using is character user interface application. Okay, we'll be giving some data and we'll be getting some what data. We'll not be giving the data in the form of to a graphical user interface, like ఒక టెక్స్ట్ బాక్స్ లో డేటా ఎంటర్ చేసి సబ్మిట్ బటన్ క్లిక్ చేస్తే అది గ్రాఫికల్ యూజర్ ఇంటర్ఫేస్. అట్లా కాకుండా డివైస్ కి కానీ ఎక్కడైనా కానీ డైరెక్ట్ గా నంబర్స్ ఇచ్చేసారు అనుకోండి, then it's not numbers ఇచ్చేసి ఎంటర్ ప్రెస్ చేశారు అనుకోండి, it's not going to be a graphical user interface. It's going to be a character user interface. The disadvantage of character user interface is we need to remember several commands. See, in the year 90s, what happens is we'll not be having such kind of operating system environment what we have right now. అంటే మనం డేటా ఏమైనా కావాలి అని అంటే పీసీలోకి వెళ్ళి అందులో డ్రైవ్ లోకి వెళ్ళి ఏదో ఒక డ్రైవ్ నుంచి ఒక ఫోల్డర్ లోకి వెళ్ళి డేటాని తెచ్చుకుంటాం. But in olden days, what happens is that everything can be done with this console only. If you need some data, you need to open that particular drive. You need to open that particular drive, and from that drive you need to enter into that particular folder. From that folder or from that directory, again you need to enter into the another directory, and from there, if file is there, you can get that particular file, or you can view that particular file. Like that, we have some command like type space frame demo dot java. Then a complete thing you'll be getting whatever the code that is there in that frame. demo, and that frame demo code will be displayed over here. That complete frame demo code will be displayed over there. Okay, like that. If you want to open it through Notepad, you can open it through Notepad or any other thing. That means all the things can be done only from this console itself. And this kind of operating system can be called as a character user interface. Can be called as what? A character user interface. That means very simple thing that you need to remember, that character user interface consists of consists of what several commands. For everything we need to remember, but we need to remember that particular command. If you want to see the list of files, means we need to remember one command called dir. And if you want to open that particular file in edit mode, then we need to use something called as edit space demo.java. Edit space demo.java. It's not recognizing. Earlier they will be using it, right? And then we'll be having something called as the notepad, and with the help of this notepad we can make use of that. Or else we can what if you see the content of that particular file, means simply you can type what type space demo.java. You will be seeing the complete content of that particular file. Demo.java contains this content, and that particular content you'll be seeing over here. Okay, everything is going to be like this. But nowadays what happens, if you want to see that particular demo.java, what we'll be doing is we'll be going into E drive folder directory. Under that there exists a folder called CSC19. Under that folder Unit-5. Under that folder frames. Under that frame directly I'm going to click on that demo.java. It will be opened in Notepad. So this was happened because of your graphical user interface. Graphical user interface. In character user interface, everything will be giving in the form of what? Commands. Here we use some command like dir command we used, and we used a command called type command we used, and we used some command like what you need only specific Java files. So you can take what dir star Java. You'll be getting only particular Java files. If you need only dot class files, you'll be getting only dot class files. You can say what dir space star dot class. You will be getting only that particular file. If you take a txt files, if you need only txt files, then the txt files present in this particular folder is nothing. No files was there. Like that, many things are available over here. Many things are available over here. And if you want to create a folder, we'll be using some command called md. And if you want to enter into that particular folder, we'll be using a command called skr. If you want to come out from that particular folder, we'll be using a command called cd. Everything we need to remember here has what? Some instruction, and according to that instruction we need to proceed. We need to remember that, and we can make use of that particular instruction. This is what happening in character user interface. Coming to the graphical user interface, it's not going to be like that. Like everything using graphical user interface, we can interact with application using picture elements of graphical elements. GUI applications interaction to the program is through components. That means if you want to interact with a GUI application, and everything interaction can be done through some components only. Through some components only, like buttons, text boxes, text fields, check boxes, and you can draw something on the thing. So everything can be done using some components, components. And what do you mean by component, and how to place that component and all, we'll be discussing clearly. Remember that graphical user interface means it contains some graphical elements such as buttons, and then text fields, check boxes, like many things will be there in that graphical user interface. Okay, so that's what they're saying. User friendly, no need to remember any commands. It adds attraction and beauty to any application by adding pictures, colors, menus. It is useful creating the components like push button, radio button, check boxes. Such kind of things will be there in graphical user interface. But in case of character user interface, will not be having anything. Just we need to remember, we need to give some input as some data, and we will be getting the data, will be getting output in the form of some data, and we need to remember each and every command in order to fulfill our task. This is an introduction about the GUI programming, that is graphical user interface programming. The importance of graphical user interface programming is that if you are going with this kind of graphical user interface, it becomes very friendly. It becomes a user friendly for the users, where they can easily do their task. For example, those are working in banks, they don't know anything about the application, how this application was developed, in what language the application is going to be developed and all. Without knowing also, they are in a position to understand what's the aim of this particular application. That understandability will be getting with the help of images, with the help of buttons, because we have something called a picture speaks more than a huge amount of data. So because based on that, what they have done is they came up with a graphical user interface operating system, graphical user interface applications, where the user can easily communicate, easily understood what was there in that and how to use it. how to use it. For example, I would like to say one simple example, like Google Pay use చేయడం మొదలు పెడితే you can easily use phone pay, you can easily use what Paytm or any kind of online application, online e-banking application, you can easily use it because you know how the thing will be there in Google Pay, and the same thing will be there in others with the different environment, with the different buttons, with the different names. That's what the graphical user interface application. So with that graphical user interface application, what happens is will be application will become a user friendly, where the user can easily understand what is there in that application. He can make use of that particular application. Okay, is it clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What about other students? I need a quick response. I'm not expecting the response only from 2 students, those that are responding regularly. What about others?
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Yes, sir.
Clear, sir.
Okay, see, I won't go how I went in 4th unit, because this 5th unit is very very important for you all. So at least 2.5 parts I will explain very clearly for you. Don't think like that, right? Unit 4 also 50% of the unit I discussed very clearly, but remaining 50% we went somewhat speed. Okay, you never seen that speed, right? In what unit 1, 2, 3 also you're not seeing such a speed, right? No response again.
Yes.
Okay, make a note of this, students. User interface, graphical user, character user interface, and graphical user interface. At least 1 point, interact with application using commands. 1 point is enough, because however I will be sharing you the notes. Graphical user interface lo oka point raskondi, character user interface lo oka point rayandi. Make it fast. We'll be going with other things. Completed? Completed?
Yes, sir.
Right. So this is what the thing now Java provides. So what happens is we came to know that the character user interface are there, and then graphical user interfaces are there. Now character user interface and graphical user interfaces are there, and we already seen till now whatever the programs that we discussed, all those things comes under which category? Graphical user interface, right? Whatever the programs that we discussed in unit 1, 2, 3, 4, all those things will come under which category?
Character user interface.
Are you, are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So all those things comes under which category? Character user interface. Now in Unit 5, we'll be going with graphical user interface. In order to you develop a graphical user interface applications, Java will provide many packages. In that, the packages that we are going to discuss is java.awt, which is nothing but frame. This is what the frame, and this is what the name of this is frame and java.awt. And this is what applet. You can see here, you'll be getting applet viewer over there, applet, java.applet. And then what my swing application, you can see this is swing application, java x.swing, java x.swing. These are the three packages that are there in order to develop what your GUI applications, in order to develop what your GUI applications, right? AWT, applet, and then swings. So this AWT and applets, we are not going to use in the real time, but the swings has become more and more popular in the industry. And whatever the standalone applications that we are going to get, and all those standalone applications will be getting are developed based on this Java x.swing package only. Java x.swing package only. Is it clear? Everyone, make a note of this. Java provides what many packages to create GUI applications. In that java.awt, which is nothing but frame, applet, which is nothing but java.applet, and swings, java x.swing. Make a note of this, students, fast. So first we'll be going with java.awt, and then we'll be going with the things of java.awt. Some topics are required, those things we'll be discussing, and few programs will be discussing over there. And then we'll be entering into this applet, and then we'll be entering into this swings. In between, I will be covering something called layout managers. Completed?
Done, sir.
What about others?
Completed, sir.
Completed, sir.
Completed,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Now let's go with what AWT. Keep reading, all of you, java.awt. So what do you mean by this java.awt? What do you mean by AWT? So first of all, listen that java.awt is one package. Is one package which is available in Java API, which is available in Java API. So AWT stands for Abstract Window Toolkit. AWT stands for Abstract Window Toolkit. Abstract Window Toolkit. AWT stands for Abstract Window Toolkit. Represents a class library to develop applications using GUI, graphical user interface. So AWT package has the classes and interfaces to develop what applications. Take this point, all of you, from here to here. And in between the bracket of AWT, take what Abstract Window Toolkit package has a classes and interfaces to develop what GUI applications. To develop what GUI applications. Make a note of this. Keep adding java.awt, and then take one point that java.awt, that is Abstract Window Toolkit package, has a classes and interfaces to develop what GUI application. To develop what GUI application. Completed? Respond. Completed?
Yes, sir.
What about others?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So the following figure shows some important what a class of AWT package. See, we have what superclass of all classes is going to be an object class. To this object, the direct subclass is a component class. Direct subclass is what? Component class. Just like what in exception we have object and then throwable. From that throwable we have exception and then error. Here also component plays an important role. Object is one superclass, and to that class we have a class called component, and this component consists of many classes. Many classes. It contains a label class, button class, checkbox, list, choice, scroll bar, canvas, text component, window, dialog, and then text area, text field, frame. You can see here this component has a class called container, and this container has a class called window, and this window has a class called what? A frame. Window has a class called what? A frame. Again, this container has a class called panel, and this panel has a class called what? Applet. Panel has a class called what? Applet. See, component, your window or frame doesn't comes under component subclass. Component subclass is limited to up to this text component only. Your window comes under which category? Container subclass. Container is a subclass of what? Component. Container is a subclass of what? A component. That means you need to know the difference between component and container. Component means what? Container means what? So component in the sense any graphical user interface can be considered as a component. It might be container, it might be label, or it might be button, it might be checkbox, or it might be list, or anything in AWT can be considered as one component, can be considered as what? A component. Under that component, the first thing that is required here is container is required. That means under the component, the first thing what we required is we required a container. This container is going to hold all other components. This container is going to hold what? All other components. All other components means on this container itself, we can place a label, we can place a button, we can place a checkbox, we can place a scroll bar, we can place what? A text component. Whatever the component that I have, all those components can be placed on this container. On this container, and this container is of what? Two things. One is going to be frame, other one is going to be what? Applet. That means the first thing is, suppose you want to place 3 buttons. I shown one program, 3 buttons, 4 buttons. If I click white, it comes background as white. If I click red, it comes background as what? Red. If you want to do such kind of things, means first and foremost thing, you need to create a container. A container can be created in 2 ways: by creating what? A frame object, or creating what? Applet object. By creating frame object or creating what? Applet object. Any one object I can create. After creating any one object, I used to get a container. I used to get what? A frame, or else I'm going to get one applet in what? Rectangular box or square box or something. I used to get one interface or one container. On that container, I can place this checkbox, or I can place this list, I can place this what? Choice, or anything if you want. And as per our requirement, we'll be placing those things on the container. We'll be placing those things on the container. Here, the container can be frame, or the container can be what? Applet. If you're using frame, means we need to go with java.awt package. If you're using applet, means we need to go with java.applet package. Java.applet package. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So that's what it's saying, that component represents an object which is displayed pictorially on the screen. Instead of saying screen, it will be displayed on the container or the window or the frame. Right? Example: push buttons, radio buttons, checkboxes, etc. A window represents an imaginary rectangular area on the screen without any borders or title bar. A frame represents a window with some title bar and borders. That means here they want to show the difference between frame and window. Window అయితే మీకు ఒక రెక్టాంగులర్ ఏరియా వస్తుంది స్క్రీన్ మీద వితౌట్ ఎనీ బార్డర్స్ ఆర్ టైటిల్ బార్. అదే ఫ్రేమ్ అవుతే you will be getting a window with some title bar and borders. In many applications, we create frames to represent various screens like input screens, where the user can type some data for application. Output screens where the user may be for user we will be displaying some what output in a particular format. Output in a particular format. That is the purpose of your window, and then what a frame. Okay, and how to create a frame means just very simple. We can create a frame by taking what? Frame f is equal to new frame, and at the time of creating a frame, we are not sending any parameters. If you are not sending any parameters, nothing it will take, no problem. And you can create a frame by passing some parameter, that is title. That means a frame f is equal to new frame of within double quotes whatever the data that you are taking, and that data will come as what? A frame title. And how it is going to come, I will be discussing it. Next thing is we can create a subclass of frame, and we can create an object of subclass. That means you can take some user defined class as what? Some class called sd, and that sd class extends what? Frame. If you create an object for sd, automatically you will be getting a frame for this sd. Automatically you will be getting a frame for what? sd. These are the different ways to create a frame. So how the thing is, first of all, మనం ఈ కాంపోనెంట్స్ అన్ని తీసుకెళ్లి ఏదో ఒక కంటైనర్ మీద ప్లేస్ చేయాలి. ఐదర్ ఫ్రేమ్ అయిన కంటైనర్ మీద కానీ, లేదంటే ఆప్లెట్ అయిన కంటైనర్ మీద కానీ ప్లేస్ చేయాలి. సో కంటైనర్ మీద ప్లేస్ చేయాలి అని అంటే ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ మనం కంటైనర్ అంటే ఏంటి అన్నది తెలుసుకోవాలి. We already learned that container is nothing but some rectangular area, or window is also can be considered some rectangular area without any borders, without any name. But frame is one rectangular area which contains some borders, which contains what? Some name, which contains some borders, which contains what? Some name. So first of all, we need to know how to create a frame. And if you know how to create a frame, and later we'll be seeing how to add buttons, or how to add checkbox, how to add what? List onto the frame, that we'll be discussing, right? So with this is what your AWT. I think you have written this AWT, right? Take this component hierarchy. Take this component hierarchy, all of you, fast. Take here these things. ఆబ్జెక్ట్ నేను చెప్తాను ఏవి తీసుకోవాలో అవి తీసుకోండి. సో ఫస్ట్ టేక్ దిస్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్, కాంపోనెంట్, checkbox group, right? Label, button, and after that container, subclass of component, and then window, and then frame, panel, and then applet. This is enough. No need to go with the checkbox list and all. It's not required. And this red color to mark chesni note cheskondi toraga. Any doubts in this? Students, any doubts in this?
No, sir.
I got response from only one student. Any doubts?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Make it fast.
Completed, sir.
What about others? నేను చెప్పేప్పుడే కొంచెం రాసుకోవడానికి ట్రై చేయండి అమ్మా. డోంట్ వేస్ట్ దిస్ టైం బికాస్ టైమ్ ఈస్ వెరీ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఫర్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ us. Respond. I need a quick response from you all.
Completed, sir.
Completed, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. Make a note of component. What do you mean by component and what do you mean by window and then frame? Up to this, it is enough. Up to this, it is enough. Make it fast.
సార్
Yes, go ahead.
ఈ ప్యాకేజెస్ తో ఒక ప్రోగ్రామ్ వెనకాల షార్ట్ కట్స్ పెట్టుకుంటాం కదా సార్, ఇప్పుడు కాపీకి కంట్రోల్ సి అన్నట్టు, అది కూడా పాసిబుల్ సార్?
అంటే పాసిబుల్ అంటే ఎలా అడుగుతున్నారు మీరు? అంటే ఏముంది మీ బ్రెయిన్ లో యాక్చువల్గా?
అంటే అలాంటి క్లిక్ చేయకుండా అలాంటి షార్ట్ కట్స్ కూడా పెట్టుకోవచ్చు అని మనం ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో చెప్పచ్చా సార్?
అర్థం కావట్లేదు. క్లిక్ చేయకుండా అంటే ఆ బటన్ క్లిక్ చేయకుండా కీబోర్డ్ తో షార్ట్ కట్స్ పెట్టాలనా?
ఎస్ సార్.
It's not going to be possible because what happens is ఒక బటన్ ని ప్లేస్ చేశారనుకోండి, ఇంటర్నల్ గా ఒక లిజనర్ అనేవాడు ఉంటాడు జావాలో. మన బటన్ ని క్లిక్ చేస్తేనే లిజనర్ అనేవాడు వింటాడు, విని దానికి అప్రోప్రియేట్ టాస్క్ చేస్తాడు. సో we can't place any shortcut keys and all. We need to perform an action. ఇప్పుడు బటన్ అవుతే బటన్ యాక్షన్ పర్ఫామ్ చేయాలి. టెక్స్ట్ ఫిల్ అవుతే అందులో టెక్స్ట్ ఎంటర్ చేయాలి. తర్వాత సబ్మిట్ బటన్ క్లిక్ చేస్తే వాట్ యాక్షన్ వి రిక్వైర్డ్ దట్ విల్ బి డన్. చాయిస్ బాక్స్ అవుతే అది క్లిక్ చేసి అండ్ దెన్ విల్ బి గోయింగ్ టు క్లిక్ ఆన్ సమ్ అదర్ బటన్. సో we need to perform an action, that's it. So we are not supposed to keep any shortcut kind of things is not possible to keep over in Java.
ఓకే సార్.
జనరల్ గా ఇప్పుడు ఇవి కూడా యూజ్ చేయట్లేరు, బట్ కొన్ని స్టాండ్ అలోన్ అప్లికేషన్స్ లోనే జావా స్ట్రింగ్స్ ని యూజ్ చేస్తున్నారు తప్ప ఎక్కడ వీటిని పెద్దగా యూజ్ చేయట్లేదు. బట్ యూ నీడ్ టు నో దట్ ఇనిషియల్ బేసిక్ థింగ్ అనేది మీకు తెలియాలి కాబట్టి ఐ మీన్ వాట్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్. రైట్, కంప్లీటెడ్. డిఫరెన్స్ బిట్వీన్ విండో అండ్ ఫ్రేమ్.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So a frame is a basic component in AWT, and the frame has to be created before any other component has before all other components, before any other component, because all other components can be displayed in a frame. వాడు ఏం చెప్తున్నాడంటే మీరు ఫ్రేమ్ అనేది చాలా బేసిక్ కాంపోనెంట్ AWT లో. సో మీరు వేరే కాంపోనెంట్స్ అన్ని క్రియేట్ చేసే ముందు ఫస్ట్ ఫ్రేమ్ కాంపోనెంట్ క్రియేట్ చేయాలి, ఎందుకంటే ఫ్రేమ్ మీదనే మనం ఇవన్నీ డిస్ప్లే చేస్తాం. సపోజ్ మీరు 3 బటన్స్ ప్లేస్ చేశాను రా ఒక ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో, ఆ 3 బటన్స్ ని నేను క్రియేట్ చేసే కంటే ముందే నేను ఫ్రేమ్ ని క్రియేట్ చేసి పెట్టుకోవాలి. ఫ్రేమ్ ని క్రియేట్ చేసుకున్న తర్వాత వాట్ బటన్స్ ని క్రియేట్ చేసి బటన్స్ ని తీసుకెళ్లి ఫ్రేమ్ కి యాడ్ చేయాలి. దట్స్ ఇట్. అంటే ఫ్రేమ్ ని క్రియేట్ చేయడం అంటే ఇస్ నథింగ్ బట్ క్రియేటింగ్ ఫ్రేమ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్. బటన్స్ ని క్రియేట్ చేయడం అంటే ఇస్ నథింగ్ బట్ క్రియేటింగ్ బటన్స్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్. And frame class contains a method called add, and with the help of that add method we'll be adding this buttons to the frame. That's it. ఎలా యాడ్ చేస్తాం, యాడ్ చేస్తే అది ఎక్కడ ప్లేస్ వస్తుంది అంటే దట్ విల్ బి డిసైడెడ్ బై యువర్ లేఅవుట్ మేనేజర్స్. దట్ విల్ బి డిసైడెడ్ బై యువర్ లేఅవుట్ మేనేజర్స్. దట్స్ వెరీ సింపుల్. అంటే ఒక బటన్, ఒక చెక్ బాక్స్ మీరు యాడ్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నారంటే ఫస్ట్ ఫ్రేమ్ ని క్రియేట్ చేసుకుంటారు. ఫ్రేమ్ ని క్రియేట్ చేసిన తర్వాత బటన్స్ ని క్రియేట్ చేస్తారు. బటన్స్ ని క్రియేట్ చేసి బటన్స్ ని ఫ్రేమ్ లోకి యాడ్ చేయాలి బై యూజింగ్ యాడ్ ఫంక్షన్. చెక్ బాక్స్ ని తీసుకెళ్లి కూడా మళ్ళీ ఫ్రేమ్ లో యాడ్ చేయాలి. బై యూజింగ్ యాడ్ ఫంక్షన్ విల్ బి యాడింగ్ చెక్ బాక్స్ టు ద ఫ్రేమ్. Right? That's the reason first we need to know how to create a frame. A frame can be created in 3 ways. One is directly by creating frame f is equal to new frame, and you can create a frame and you can pass some string, and that string will be visible as the title of your frame. And or else what we can do is we can extend a user defined class with respect to frame class, and then we can create that user defined object, and then frame will be created. See, this is how the third one can be done. The first one I will be going with one simple thing. Just make a note of this slide, and then we'll be going with one program. Time is there, we'll be going with already we completed. Just make a note of this. Next class we'll be discussing the program. Already we have seen it, but we'll discuss the program clearly in the next class. Make a note of this, students, all of you. Oh, already 35. It's too worst.
సో ఫ్రేమ్ అనగానే ఏం కోడ్ వస్తుంది సార్, సో దట్ ఒక రెక్టాంగిల్ బాక్స్ అనేది అపియర్ అవ్వడానికి?
కోడ్ అనేది ఏమొస్తుంది అంటున్నావా?
ఎస్ సార్.
నువ్వు చూడు, నేను సింపుల్ ఒకటి తీసుకుంటాను. సో ఇక్కడ ఒక సింపుల్ ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్ తీసుకుంటాం. So by default, visibility on frame is going to be false. So we are making this as true, and then we are giving some size. 200 and 300 pixels. So here you will be getting a frame like this. సో క్లోజ్ చేయడానికి కుదరదు. ఫ్రేమ్ ని క్లోజ్ చేయాలంటే కన్సోల్కి వచ్చి మళ్ళీ కంట్రోల్ Z క్లిక్ చేస్తే క్లోజ్ అవుతుంది. It has to go, but it's not going right. So very simple thing here. ఇలా క్రియేట్ చేస్తే వచ్చేస్తుంది అంతే. ఓకే, ఇస్ ఇట్ ఓకే పవన్? కోడ్ అంటే
అంటే సార్ నేను అనేది అసలు ఫ్రేమ్ లోపల కోడ్ ఏముంటుంది, సో దట్ అలా రెక్టాంగిల్ బాక్స్ రావడానికి అంటున్నా.
ఫ్రేమ్ లోపల కోడ్ డిజైన్ ఎలా చేస్తారు అని అడుగుతున్నావా? సో లాజిక్ మనకి we need to look into that Java API, and we need to know about that. In what way they are done is might be they were going with some other application inside this frame in such a way that it has to come on the complete screen of the computer, where it should be some rectangle box. Like that they are done. That means huge coding will be there inside that. Huge code will be there inside that. సో ఇవన్నీ ఎక్కడ తెలుస్తాయంటే, అంటే ఇప్పుడు మీకు ఫ్రేమ్ యొక్క కోడ్ తెలియాలి అని అంటే you need to work related to system applications, then you will be knowing it how it is going to be generated. But ఇక్కడ వరకు వచ్చేసరికి మనకు ప్రీ డిఫైన్డ్ ఒక క్లాస్ ఇచ్చారు, ఆ క్లాస్ ని యూజ్ చేయగానే ఫ్రేమ్ వచ్చేస్తుంది అంతే. దట్స్ ఇట్. ఓకే, you can search on the internet, you will be finding the frame logic, no problem. You can see that logic of frame, because it's an open source up to 1.5 version. You can see the logic of frame also. Search on the internet, you will be finding n number of lines of code for this frame, constructors, methods, like many things. Any other doubts? Okay, we'll stop here and we'll continue in the next class. If you have any other doubts, let me know. Otherwise, you can leave.
సార్ మీరు ఇచ్చిన 1 వీక్ అసైన్మెంట్ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదా సార్,
అయిపోయినాయి, అవి చేస్తారా?
చేశాను కానీ సార్ అది ప్రాబ్లం ఏమొస్తుందంటే క్లాస్ చెప్పేటప్పుడు బాగా అర్థమైపోయింది, ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ అన్ని బాగా ఎక్కేస్తున్నాయి అనిపించింది.
అవును,
చెప్పేటప్పుడు మాత్రం అది నెక్స్ట్ ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్ ఏం తీసుకోవాలో కూడా అర్థం అవ్వట్లేదు సార్. మళ్ళీ అన్ని యూట్యూబ్ వీడియోస్ అన్ని రిఫర్ చేసుకుని చేయాల్సి వస్తుంది.
అందుకే ఈ ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ సబ్జెక్ట్ కి ల్యాబ్ ఇస్ ద మోస్ట్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ థింగ్. Every day we need to practice the programs. But after Unit 1 programs, most of you are done. But when we are going with Unit 2, we have a tight schedule. So that's the reason I not instructed you to go with execution of program. Okay, last 1 week, you're free on the right. That's it. Again, coming week or might be having the things. So practice is required, Srikar. That's it. How much you are practicing, and to that extent you will be getting the things. If you are not doing practice, then it's very, very difficult to get the things.
Okay, sir.
See, I learned this Java by going to a training center for 2 times. And 2 times నేను వెళ్ళినా కానీ నాకు ఏం అర్థం కాదు. Frankly speaking, I did not understood anything. But when I sit in front of my computer and I practicing one by one concept, like every program I had done, every concept, like starting from class and object to this AWT and swings, everything I practiced. So if while doing practice, we used to get many problems, many questions will be getting in our brain, and try to put those things in that program and try to see how Java compiler is reacting, how JVM is reacting for those instructions. So you might be getting some clarity on that, whether you are going with proper direction or not. If you are facing any difficulty or anywhere, try to refer Java API and you'll be seeing over there what's the problem in particular method or something else. Okay, only thing is practice, that's it. So I'm not asking you to go with something like HackerRank or something like CodeChef and all. So try to know the things what we have, try to know the things what we have, try to practice it, and you'll be getting, while doing practice, you'll be getting many doubts in your brain, and try to implement over there. We are done like that many, from beginning of the sessions onwards, we are done like that only. See, when I'm preparing for the class, when I'm looking for the concepts, I'm not going to get any doubt. So this is what the topic, this is what the topic. But when I'm explaining it, in between, I'm placing some statements. You observed or not, I'm placing some statements. Why means, while explaining the topic, I got some doubt. The student might be asking this kind of doubt. So immediately I'm placing that, I'm explaining you. Okay, that's the attitude is required in computer science. Everything you do the practice. No need to remember everything in computer science. If Java lo in libraries unnai, in packages unnai, in class unnai ani cheppi tension తీసుకోకూడదు. సో ఫైనల్ గా ఏంటంటే ప్రతి ప్యాకేజ్ ప్రతి క్లాస్ ఆన్లైన్ లో అవైలబుల్ లో ఉంటుంది, అవి చూసి మనం యూస్ చేసుకుంటాం. సో మేక్ ఏ హ్యాబిట్ ఆఫ్ సర్చింగ్ అండ్ మేక్ ఏ హ్యాబిట్ ఆఫ్ డూయింగ్ ప్రాక్టీస్. దట్స్ ఇట్. ఓకే, రైట్.